Good afternoon. My name is Kaylee McClure. I am seeking a master's degree in elementary education, and I wanted to present to you today my professional growth plan. First of all, we're going to be talking about what a master's of elementary education looks like at GCU. GCU is an accredited Christian school that offers many different courses. The program overview includes 39 credit hours, and it combines online coursework with in-person clinical field experience. Some of the core courses include Child Development and Psychology, Instructional Planning and Assessment, Classroom Management and Engagement, and Literacy Development, and methods in different core subjects. It also includes clinical and practicum requirements. These are done in the field, and it also requires student teaching if you're going for licensing. GCU does offer a non-licensing route. Next, we'll look at what Virginia requires for licensing and certification. First of all, you have to have a bachelor's degree from an accredited institution. You must complete an approved education prep program, or there are alternative pathways. Fulfillment of student teaching or practicum. You can also do this by having a provisional license and having a mentor teacher for 150 hours. You are required to pass the Praxis subject test and the RVE. A couple trainings are also required. This includes the dyslexia awareness training, child abuse recognition, and emergency CPR and first aid. Training must be updated to be able to renew. You also are required through your district to do certain PD, which is personal development plans, and also occasionally you're required CEUs, which is very similar to personal development. I am actually going for what is called an ACSI licensing, which is the Association of Christian Schools International. It's very similar to what the state requires with a few changes. You do need a bachelor's degree. You need to have student teaching or 2 years of mentored teaching that has been done in a Christian school with a letter of recommendation from your administration. You have to have at least 21 credit hours in education, and 3 of those credit hours must be student teaching. You also are required to have 3 credit hours in biblical studies. You also have to complete a background check, do first aid training, and CPR training. The training also must be updated for renewal, and CEUs in education and Bible are required. If you have a temporary license, you have to renew that every 2 years. If you have a standard license, that has to be renewed every 5 years. As educators, we have high expectations of ourselves and of our students. We should believe that all students can learn and set appropriate standards for them. We should also communicate at a professional level with them what those expectations are in a positive manner. Communication and professional conduct should always be maintained. This means adhering to the code of ethics and maintaining effective communication with students, families, and colleagues. Technology should be integrated into our classroom. We should use these tools to enhance engagement, support learning, and track progress. This should be used safely to protect all students' privacy. The code of ethics and professional standards should be maintained at all times with integrity. We should follow education standards of our schools and our districts. We should uphold laws such as FERPA, and we should honor the policies that relate to equality, accessibility, and cultural responsiveness. This includes reporting any child abuse. For my professional growth and progression, short term, I would like to continue teaching at the private school where I am at. I would also like to begin mentoring other teachers once I have completed my degree and do many professional development workshops. Midterm, I would possibly like to add an endorsement or move to public school if that's the Lord's calling for me to be able to complete my Virginia licensing under provisional license. Long term, I would love to maybe eventually move into a leadership role, change to a resource teacher, or a curriculum coach. Reflecting on teaching practices is a very important part of being a teacher. We need to engage in this so that we can be the best version of ourselves. Reflecting also helps us realize what type of support systems that we need in place. Data sources can be used to guide reflection. Students' performance, such as test scores, formative assessments, and observation. We can also have feedback from peer observation and families. Current research should also be implemented so that we have insight into educational studies and professional publications to be able to help guide how we are teaching in the classrooms. Using research to inform instruction is very helpful in the classroom. Cognitive science shows that students' learning improves when teaching strategies align with how students think and retain information. We can also combine different theories and practices to guarantee that we are using evidence-based decision-making. Reflection to improve my practice. I intend to track student progress through regular formative assessments to compare instruction outcomes with current research and apply learning progression to scaffold content effectively. Reflection tools that can be used are journaling, note-taking, peer collaboration, and student feedback to be able to help us to be able to be the most effective teacher for our students. My professional learning goals are to deepen differentiated strategies. I hope to strengthen my skills to better implement differentiated instruction to meet the needs of each student. I hope to grow reflective practices by improving my instructional decision-making by incorporating all evidence-based reflection. I also hope to engage in professional learning by attending conferences and collaborating with my different colleagues. I also hope to join online communities such as Reading Rocket and being able to journal and read current journals and research to stay on top of all the different strategies. This is the end of my presentation. Thank you.